Welcome back, cookies. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Carolyn Gray, and this is my channel. Obviously, I typically discuss all things fashion. I do sprinkle a little bit of my entrepreneurial life as well as just living here in New York City and all the things. Today we're going to talk about a much discussed topic this week, the Met Gala looks. I'm going to do basically my hot take on some of the looks that I thought were heavy hitters and some of the looks that kind of missed the mark, and then kind of just inform the community here that some of this stuff actually ties back to this month's Vogue magazine. Yeah, so let's get into it. So the tea is the Met Gala actually started in 1948 by this woman named Eleanor Lambert. She was basically like a fashion publicist, and she gathered all the socialites and the elite crowds of New York to basically fundraise money for the Met Museum's Costume Institute, right? So every year, the first Monday of May, everybody will come together, the who's who's in costume attire. And since 1995, editor-at-large at Vogue, Anna Wintour, has taken over the reins of, putting on the entire presentation, the show, inviting A-listers from all types of industries, from music to acting to fashion to... Okay, I don't know how I missed this, but I just want to put this in here real quick. I just want y'all to know, overall, Anna Wintour has always led the thing since 1995, right? However, there's a young Black woman by the name of Jessie Nichols, who is actually the director that plans and oversees the Met Gala from start to finish, from the invite list, from who's performing at the event, to all the things, all the details. Just want to put that out there. Fun fact, Black woman, young Black woman doing her thing. This is like her, I don't even know how many years she's been doing this in a row, but she's within the Anna Wintour space, but she tells Anna Wintour, this is what we're doing, but this is what I'm saying. She tells Anna Wintour, this is what we're doing this year for the Met Gala, and Anna Wintour is, all right, keep going, carry on. But yeah, I thought that was a fantastic situation. To dress in their interpretation of a theme. So themes in the past have been like the Roman Catholic Church, note to camp, all types of things. This year was Karl Lagerfeld, a line of beauty. So it's no secret that Anna Wintour and Karl Lagerfeld had an amazing relationship, unlike her relationship with Elia, but we're not going to go there today. But he's my favorite designer, one of my favorites. Anyway, so her and Karl had a great relationship. Some people they did have like a little distaste in their mouth about this year's theme, because Karl Lagerfeld, although he was an amazing designer and had his hand in almost every design house there was. I mean, he was with Fendi at the same time as Chanel, he's had a reputation of being racist, misogynistic, not body inclusive at all, but he has had an iconic career. So there's some people who are really excited about this, and then others who are not. I think I was looking forward to seeing how people were going to interpret this, how the designers and the guests were going to come together to interpret their appreciation for his work. So some of the looks were amazing, some of the looks like, why are you here? And I think what I was expecting was a lot of over exaggeration of his take on maybe the Chanel suit. I knew someone was going to pull up to honor his cat Choupette, who is still alive actually, and has plenty of brand deals, has a whole social media manager, and is living his best life. And I knew that we were going to see a lot of black, a lot of white, a lot of the Camellia flower, which actually is not even his favorite flower, but they're Coco Chanel. I knew we were going to see a lot of black and white mixed. So I knew it was going to be a very black on black, which I love. I know a lot of people wanted a lot more color, but surprisingly, some of the color that was worn on the red carpet did not really translate overall to like Karl Lagerfeld's theme and his iconic history of design. Like I don't know, but let me just get into my favorites. Now, I have favorites, I have some misses, and then I have some like, that's interesting, okay. But let's get into it. So my favorite, and this is in no particular order, Ashley Graham wearing Chanel Haute Couture. She looked beautiful. thought this was an amazing dress on her. But it also spoke to the fact that she is still one of the leaders who are screaming for body inclusivity within the fashion world. So this is why this is one of my favorite looks, because it's kind of like a FU to Karl and what he used to say about sizing. But she looked gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous in haute couture Chanel, vintage Chanel. Doja Cat. I said I wanted someone to pull up to honor Chopette. The fact that she even put, you know, she's for all the antics. I think she did an amazing job. She even did some of her interviews meowing. So she gets in character and stays there. And I thought she looked impeccable. It was an Oscar de la Renta dress. So yeah, I lived for that moment. And I do kind of feel that it was so intricately made, but something was simplistic about it. And I just love that for her. Kim Kardashian and Schiaparelli. I think it was over 5,000 pearls. My fave. Like when she came to the whole thing, the hair, the makeup, the look, everything. Say what you want about that family. Say what you want. I get it. But she knows how to pull a look together. She came a long way from the last time she had that floral dress with the baby bump. Yeah, that was a mess. This one though, that was on point. Jenny Ortega and Tom Brown. Matter of fact, the entire Tom Brown fit, minus 1 or 2. The Tom Brown table, stunning. And I forget who wore one of the looks that actually made it to Vogue magazine for this this month's edition, but Tom Brown just gets it. It was very him. You can tell it was that designer stuff, right? But you can also see how he paid honor to Karl. And Jenna, she just kills the look, like in the best way. I love this look. Again, hair, makeup, look, she pulled it together. She looked amazing. Now, a lot of people might actually not agree with this. Cara Delevingne, who is Ace Boon Coon, okay, with Karl, that was a Karl Lagerfeld look. I thought it was very reminiscent of his style. Like, he was always in a white button-down shirt. The hair was amazing. Her makeup was stunning. Stuart Weitzman shoes, the leather legging, like, it all just pulled together. Now, mind you, could she have worn this to another event like the Grammys? Sure, sure. But I also feel like she didn't have to prove so hard that her and Karl were so close, how much she loved him. And she even mentioned how many times she probably stole a couple of things from the collections, but whatever. She'll get away with it. So Young Miami did it for the hood girls. And she wore a brand called Act Number One. I've never heard of them. Stunning, head to toe. It just, she didn't have to do more. She didn't have to do less. It was just the perfect mix. Bad Bunny, and I'm gonna say this, most of the men that showed up to the Met Gala that night killed it. They put it down, every single one. Like, I mean, minus a few, like Kendall from Succession, looking like a whole leprechaun. I'm not gonna get there yet. I'm not gonna get there yet. But Bad Bunny with the backless Jacquemus suit and the train, and then also the designer showed up as well with his black version of the suit. They both look stunning. Bad Bunny's a bad bitch. Okay. It is. I'm just saying. All right. I got my list. Anne Hathaway in Versace. I know she came with like a moto jacket also. I don't even think she needed that jacket. She looks stunning. The tweed, the gold details. She just put it on. She's a bad woman. And be doing it. Next was, like I said, the Tom Brown collection, minus 1 or 2. Pusha T, like I don't even know, there was a couple that was involved too. Everyone looks stunning. And I really feel like I love the fact that Tom Brown has a table. Mind you, those tables or a seat, I think it starts at like $50,000. You know, so most of the time it's brands that buy the table. They bring their favorite muses. They dress them. It's amazing. And from what I understand, I think the most that they've ever raised at some of these Met Galas were like $200 million. You know, and that goes back into the industry. And I think the Met Gala also is one of the highest fundraising events that the museum has. So a lot goes into this event. But yeah, the entire Thom Browne table. Lily Collins and Vera Wang. Didn't love the train that said Karl. Like, I just kind of feel like that was a last minute thing. But the front of that dress, Lily looked amazing. Like, Emily Paris would be proud. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. Okay. And Adu Arkesh, I'm not sure if I'm saying her name correctly, but and Carolina Herrera with the black lipstick and the it's giving Prohibition Lux. I was here for that moment. She looked beautiful. Okay. Now getting into some of my least favorites. I'm gonna start off with Kylie Jenner. Now her sister Kendall looked amazing. It wasn't my favorite, but I love the quilt in the sleeve. She looked stunning. Kylie showed up in Jean Paul Gaultier, and I was just like, I'm not sure where this connects. I'm sure it does somewhere for Jean Paul, but I felt like this could have been any event. I'm glad that she did a color, and the blue was a beautiful mix, but it kind of just missed the mark for me. Another one, Diddy and his Sean John cape. Now, mind you, him and June Ambrose came together and they did this look. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't my favorite personally. This is just my take, okay? My take, just sprinkling my take. I would have loved to see this in a tweed, like a black and white tweed. If he would have done it all white, he would have looked like Rihanna's look, which we'll get to. But I don't know. It was missing something for me. I just wish it was in a different color. But whatever. It is what it is. I like that he brought his own handheld fan because he was sweating bullets. Okay, let me say this word correctly before someone who doesn't normally correct people takes the time to correct me. Burberry. So Burberry had a table, and I liked none of the looks. Now, mind you, Skepta looked amazing. He always does. Burna Boy is a beautiful man. Did not love the suit. Mary J. Blige, I hated it for Auntie. I really, like, it just didn't look becoming at all. It just looked like Daniel Lee was like, oh, you're going to look at my collection. This is me showing that I'm for the people, and you're going to look at my collection. Because rumors were at Bottega, the reason why he was pushed out was because he said the N-word within the workplace. But that hasn't been confirmed. That's just been buzzing. But it's really ironic. Anyway, that the brown people are the one that are carrying this new marketing situation. I could be dead wrong, but that's how I saw it. Mary J. Blige looked a hot ass mess. Now, Janelle Monáe was not my favorite look. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And Thom Browne wasn't my favorite look. Lil Nas X and Dior. I guess the underwear and the pearls were placed by the Dior team. I thought it was not a great paint job. I felt like his booty crack was just, I thought it just wasn't giving anything except for shock factor. But at the end of the day, Karl Lagerfeld has been quoted to say that even the not in fashion is in fashion. It is still fashion. I guess it's fashion. Alton Mason actually wore Karl Lagerfeld like a bridal outfit. Waist up, stunning. Waist down, it looks cheap. It's giving necessary clothing, white lace, and I hated it. Again, shock factor. I might get unfollowed for saying this. I did not like Naomi Campbell's dress. Love Naomi Campbell. She's stunning. She's a muse. She is a throwback muse of Karl and many designers. She looks beautiful in anything. That dress looked old on her. I ain't like it. And one, oh my God, this one really pissed me off. Serena Williams and Gucci. them extra pearls, necklaces, the wig, the makeup. I'm glad and happy, over the moon for her being with child, okay? Because I know she has a lot of health things going on. You know, I'm sure this isn't like, I'm sure she's facing some risk, you know, because that happened the first time with her pregnancy. That dress is horrible. The outfit is the wig, why was the wig here? Why was it so close to her freaking eyebrows? Why was the makeup, it was just not, it was not okay. They should have just kept it simple with the makeup. They could have done something that maybe fully, like a cap on her head, or I don't know, like if that was a wig that y'all chose, y'all could have done a different wig. I just felt like it doesn't do it justice. And I'm mad as hell that Lala Anthony was interviewing her, telling her, you always serve us with the looks. No, she serves us tennis balls, and that is what she's amazing at. We will never be able to take away the greatness that is Serena Williams when it comes to her being a tennis player, but a fashionista, no. I cannot. It is giving no. I'm so mad. Whoever dressed her in that, who did dress her? Who styled Serena? Like, I'm so over it, you know. And it's not like, I just know she can be styled way better. I just know. It's a woman named Keisha. A stylist named Keisha. It wasn't cohesive, Keisha. I don't want to bring anyone down. I just want better for Serena. I just feel like there was so many other ways that could have gone. So in editing this video, what I'm realizing is Luxury Law really quit styling people, because the amount of, I'm just going to say it, the Black talent or the guests that show up to these events, I feel as though the resources from these fashion houses are not really given. Like, they're not given the options of the best of the best. Their stylists are limited in being able to obtain the best of the best. I just feel like overall, you know, Luxury Law, and this is why he had to dip, because it's like I'm gonna, you know, we didn't give him his flowers, honestly, but I feel like a lot of these stylists who have Black talent, it's hard for them to get the wow factor pieces for Black talent. I think it is such a harder obstacle for them to go to. And it's like, I'm like, wow, there's more Black people whose outfits I was like, no, this isn't it. And I'm frustrated because I was like, damn, wow, why can't we look better? You know, because it's not that I don't like the person, and it's just I don't like how a lot of these things were styled or the pieces that they were getting. I just feel like there's way better options, like the Anne Hathaway look. Mary J could have killed that look. Yeah, and even like Cara Delevingne's look, that could have went on Yara Shahidi. You know, so it's like there's certain looks that I would have swapped for the other person that I know that they just would have looked amazing in, you know, but did they get the opportunity to have those pieces? I don't know. And I think it's rigged in a lot of ways for these people to not have the best of the best looks attainable. Because I'm like, this is interesting. This is interesting how the pieces that I feel like we deserve are not on us. And yeah. I still stand behind Mary J. Blige looking a fine ass mess in that blue dress. And I want so much better for Serena. Yeah, so much better for her. I just want so much better for all of us. Anyway, getting to the rest of my list. I feel bad. I hate seeing it not look impeccable. Now, these are my sidebars. Loved Rihanna's sneak peek, or you know, her excitement for Monday to come Chanel look that she posted on Sunday, right? Loved it, was very excited. Loved the fact that she wore the fur coat that he put Naomi Campbell in back in the day on the way to the car, right? Because she definitely was not dressed underneath that coat. Loved the white ensemble that she wore, and then she took off the hood, and then I said, put it back on. Your hair looks sweated out, looks flat. Because the thing is, it is the entire ensemble. It is the hair, it is the makeup, it is the confidence, it's what you're wearing, right? Once she took that hood off, I said, it looked like wind hit your head and didn't settle well. So that's my only thing. Love the look. I wish she kept it on the entire red carpet. Now, A$AP Rocky, for some reason he annoys me a little bit. Like, I'm happy that they're in love and that they're building a family, but there's something about him that annoys me, and that's just my sprinkle of opinion, right? And when I first saw the look, I was like, oh yeah, waist up, very Karl, right on point. But he actually copy and pasted an entire outfit that Karl wore on his runway walk back in the day, and I was like, oh my God. Okay, Rocky, he knows what he's doing when it comes to fashion. He just annoys me a little bit. Okay. Another one that kind of like, to me, it missed, like, I don't, aesthetically, like looking at it, I was like, I don't know how this goes with the theme. However, looking at this month's Vogue magazine, Christopher John Rogers designed this pink dress. Sorry, the person who wore it is escaping my mind, the name of that woman. The dress is impeccable. It's Christopher John Rogers. It is his, right? But he actually was paying tribute to the amount of time and detail that Karl put into all of his collections. So it was an ode more to that and the seamstresses and the people who did the work. And I think it's interesting because does Christopher John Rogers also have a feeling towards, you know, some of the controversy that Karl, you know, had in his career, and that's why he chose to more so highlight the seamstresses that were behind the scenes of with Karl. I don't know, but I like it. So even though to me when I first saw, I was like, how does this hit the theme? When I looked into it further, I was like, okay, I respect that. I respect that, and that's why I love CJR. I really like that. Yeah, I mean, and then Cardi had 4 different looks. And you know what? She looked good on all of them. She looked good on all of them. The only thing I would have to say is the reason why it misses the mark for me, that damn wig. What in the Barbie plastic looking ass wig was that? I feel like something happened to the first wig. It just didn't hit it for me. It really didn't. But yeah. Overall, that's just, those are my thoughts. And, you know, I think everyone has some say. So listen, Jared Leto showed up too in a whole choupette costume. He's never going to disappoint in giving what needs to be gave at this Met Gala. You know, he is a person that is going to over exaggerate something. I think it would have been nice to see, you know, like one of the Chanel suits that, you know, he redefined in the 90s when he did like all the pastel colors of all the supermodels. And I would have loved to see someone take one of those and like create an over exaggerated look with it, like a huge train or something like that, like a train of tweed, like pink tweed. That would have been beautiful. Jeremy Pope, who did Beaumont? I think Beaumont did his look. The train with Karl's face on it. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, you know. All of the men look stunning. I mean, what's that man's name? Someone dressed, oh my God, his name is, I think it's Watiti or something like that. Prabal Gurung dressed him. I might be saying Prabal wrong, sorry. He looked stunning. Kendall from Succession looked like a whole leprechaun. But overall, the men, breathtaking. I was so happy to see it. I really was. Like, I feel like there were some looks that Karl would have dressed himself in, and they just did it so immaculately. It was immaculate. I don't know. But anyway, that's my take. What were your thoughts? What were some of your favorites? What were some of the looks that made you feel a little cringe? And yeah, like, overall, one more thing. It was Karl Lagerfeld theme. So a lot of people did think that this was a little boring because there was a lot of black and white. But it was the theme. And here we are. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for staying so long with me.